All for one.
One for all.
One for all.
All for a team.
All for a team.
And all for Prince Hall.
And all for Prince Hall.
This is Willie C. Moland, the patriarch of the Prince Hall Youth Football Organization. Prince Hall Football has been an organization in the Northeast Denver neighborhood for over 30 years. Coach Mullen was born January 19, 1931 in Oklahoma. As a young man, Willie migrated to Denver, Colorado, and met a city councilman who he became friends with. Coach Mullen and this councilman became philanthropists in the neighborhood, offering many opportunities for the youth, such as basketball, boxing, and football programs. The councilman and Coach Mullen formed a football organization in the Park Hill neighborhood called the Pirates in the 1960s. The councilman only wanted to recruit the most talented athletes in the neighborhood, not giving some of the lesser talented youth a chance to play or learn the fundamentals of the game to better themselves. Coach Mullen didn't agree with this approach. He felt all kids should be given an opportunity to play and learn. Coach Mullen and a group of community spokespeople who were in agreement decided to form their own football team. Thus, the Prince Hall Youth Football Organization was born. With the formation of this new neighborhood team, this allowed the other kids the opportunity to learn the game of football. Without the opportunities provided by Coach Mullen, a lot of the youth most likely would have strayed and gotten into trouble in the streets.
You know what? I think that Prince Hall and Coach Mullen, Bill Mullen, was such an inspiration for me going forward. Without that foundation, learning the fundamentals of sports, of football, without learning the lessons of life, putting in blood, sweat, and tears and coming up short and being able to go at it again, and just the competition. These things I wish that all kids, not necessarily football, but just all kids would participate in some type of activity that would give you these types of tools that you can use later on in life.
This also created a rivalry amongst the program. Although there was not instant success, the kids that were left off the Park Hill team wanted to beat them to prove that they could overcome, even though they weren't considered the most talented.
So, we get to play Prince Hall. Now, my brother's teams had played Prince Hall before, and like I told you once before, Jamal, at that time, Prince Hall had these kind of cool jerseys that were fashioned after the Broncos jerseys at the time. So they had these orange jerseys with the blue and white trim on the sleeve, and with a white number, but they looked like the jerseys the Broncos were wearing at the time. And so, other than them being Prince Hall, we thought that was kind of cool. They have really cool jerseys, right? So when we show up to play Prince Hall, it looked like a Chicago Bears-Denver Broncos game. And we beat them like the monsters of the Midway, too. We beat them up. And we did that to the Prince Hall teams often back then. And I think the thing was back then, kids were either going to go to Skyland and play for the Pirates. That was the attraction. Or they were going to go out further east and play for the Falcons, because that was the attraction. We were two good organizations that won a lot of football games. And so at that time, kids weren't attracted to go play for Prince Hall.
After many losses, Prince Hall began to shorten the gap in talent and wins. Unfortunately, Coach Mullen is no longer with us. He passed away March 9, 2021, but his legacy in Colorado youth athletics lives on, and the Prince Hall football team will continue to shape future generations.